We have this like rule in our studio. If we say generative AI, everybody has to like drink water because it's ingrained. You know, like we've been working with generative AI since 2020. It's a smart tool, a dumb collaborator sort of situation. Hi, I'm Jake. I'm the co-founder for ZeroCo, a creative tech studio. I'm also a creative technologist, a new media artist, and what it means to be human in a digital world is nothing new to us. I believe that artists and designers have been working in tandem with technology along the years, so nothing much has changed.
My next guest is Jake Tan, co-founder and technology lead for ZeroCo. Jake is one of the most talented new media artists in Singapore. He and his team have been the social media augmented reality partner of the National Day Parade for the past 3 years.
You can see that there's very high adoption rate from like people from 18 to 24 and also like 25 to 34. We have about 70 million views on all our augmented reality experiences, and I would say about 20 to 30% of that comes from like the 18 to 24. But we also have this target demographic of like 40 and up who are also interested, curious about XR technology. We see that these people are slowly picking things up in terms of XR. In that way, we also want to build accessible technology, and that allows us to have like a common experience for all. I would say bringing in physical semiotics is quite important. The idea that things that we're already familiar with in physical space, like wayfinding or physical interfaces, if we can bring these in, it's definitely something that can have a sense of familiarity for users when they're assimilating into a digital space. Within AR, if you are able to bring in your hands and control positionality the same way that you control it with your hands, that helps. Your face, having something attached to certain parts of your face helps. In VR, it's a lot about wayfinding. You can't really move, so how can you create things like locomotion, bringing in familiar things like moving your hands to walk around a space will reduce the motion sickness that comes with a static space while you move in a virtual space. Virtual spaces that work are still text-based. I think Reddit and Discord are fantastic examples of like communities or people who embrace that digital space without having like a physical avatar. And the question is also like, do we need that physical avatar, or is it we are just too used to not having an avatar within the digital realm? We need to find a language for people to need to use the avatar. Why is movement necessary? Why are physical things like this necessary to convey emotion rather than just like emotionless text? One thing that we realize as like a common thread when we get really good clients would be that these clients firstly respect our creative integrity and also trust our creative vision to allow us to venture and to try things out. On the business end, if they are able to be more transparent about their strategies and their objectives, that also helps us craft a more creative and focused solution for them. So that's from a design standpoint. I think businesses are no longer so interested in getting full-time creatives, and creatives are also not so interested in getting full-time jobs either. The idea of being creative also comes with like that freedom, the idea that you want to travel or be a digital nomad. But there are also creatives who want to be within a team setting. I think the Gen Z, the next generation of like creatives, are a little bit more like outspoken, but they're also a bit more like adventurous. So that also might play into like the supply and demand of how many creatives are there within the space. I think it's also like a culture thing, right? Sometimes creativity is not very well valued within a supply chain. It's usually either the back burner or like it's part of a product manager's job to be creative, you know? And then that takes away from people who went to art school or went to design school to actually train and go through like the entire process. I would say we should be the change that we want to see. I kind of need to make a name for myself first within like specific ministries or departments within government institutions first. Then only then I'll be able to like constitute like or push for change, being vocal about like what we want. Things like no more free pitching, things like prototypes, you need charge, creative visioning should be something that's chargeable. Okay, so like when I say free pitching, as it's very common within corporates or organizations that they'll say, hey, give me an idea first, and then we'll see if we can give you money for it. Then they get to choose whatever suits their strategy or their budget the best. I think DSG has been talking about free pitching for a very long time, and nobody can find a solution for this yet. We have always seen AI as a tool. So for one of our NFT projects, Bios Living NFTs, what we did was plant-based NFTs would be completely generated from an AI algorithm, but also the textures were built off a diffusion model, a very, very early diffusion model, where we went around Singapore taking pictures of like leaves of local plants for like 1,000 of them. And then we trained the data set, and that was like super long ago, 2021. We viewed it as a tool in the past. Right now, we have integrated AI into our drafting process. So we don't think that anything AI can generate is production ready or like deployment ready, but it's really, really good when it comes to drafting. It's a smart tool, a dumb collaborator sort of situation. I think if you asked me a year ago at the peak of crypto, and if you ask me now, the answers are all slightly different. The future of the internet to peak crypto Jake was really about community, the idea that people can band together to push for specific things. But I think right now, understanding the economics of creative technology and what it entails and what it brings, you see that money is at the heart of everything. And as a result, we sort of need to tailor solutions, especially solutions for the future of the internet, to be a balance between creativity and also how that creativity can translate into economical monetary gain for corporations or for ourselves.
The next version of the internet offers creators new ways to generate artworks and engage audiences. At the same time, as AI begins to create art and content, does this reduce the incentive and opportunity for humans to create?